the value of the data is not just selling the data or sharing the data. It's actually understanding at which different stage of the stack, as I like to mention it, can it generate value.
The companies that are actively taking steps now to improve the quality, accessibility, cleanliness of their data are that's work that can be done today, regardless of if you have the correct transformation of AI, or if you have the design thinking, whether you have the
Yeah,
solutions and the problems. You can do that today, and so and that's a known thing, right? Structured data, building data lakes, data warehouses, ETL pipelines, integrating more data to have a graph database, like that is all known
yeah,
information and processes, and you could start doing that today while you're still maybe mucking around and trying to figure out, well, how do we get our team members to be generative and
yeah,
think about AI applications.
yeah,
That's very
yeah.
insightful.
It's I think in 2012 I worked for Telefonica, and there was a spin-off from Telefonica called Dynamic Insights, and it was built to leverage anonymized and aggregated footfall data generated by call logs from people's cell phones and start
Footfall data,
understanding.
what is
Yeah,
footfall data?
so footfall is how many people are in a specific location at any given point in time, and then
Okay.
using machine learning to figure out whether they came from, how long did they stay there, where did they go next, right? And then match other data like what are the business around there, what is the probability that that person, if they stayed for 2 hours in that location and there's a movie next door, probably they went to the movies, right? So there's a
Oh
lot of
wow.
assumptions that you can do on this. The other thing is, if you have a group of 70 people moving at 20 miles per hour across London, probably they're on a bus. If you have 90 that go in a metro station and come out on the other side of the metro station, they probably took the tube. So there's tremendous amount of insights you can generate. And again, no surveillance or whatsoever in this. This is all aggregated and anonymized. But the collective insights of this are tremendously valuable for a retailer that I want to decide where to open my store, and I sell this type of product to this type of audience. You know, where do they come from? Which areas do they go for lunch?
What
At what
times, how do
time
they
do they
commute, all of
There
it.
you go. So all of
Yeah.
that is hyper valuable information. And this was in 2012. So a long time ago, this data commercialization enterprise, which was a huge learning journey for me, and almost like the full pivot into the data and AI world, which I then carried out through IBM, Accenture, KPMG, etc. That sort of gave me a perspective of the value of the data is not just selling the data or sharing the data. It's actually understanding at which different stage of the stack, as I like to mention it, can it generate value. And I'll give you an example. So if we think about a business that gathers insights on, for instance, tires, tire wearing, right? How long will a tire in a specific truck, and that is part of a fleet? How long will it live for? How long will it run for? When will you need to replace that tire? Can you do anything to extend the life of that tire, right? Now, is this applicable to the whole fleet? Because probably it's going to be two or three different models of trucks with specific profiles that we can figure out of driving styles. So the value of that data is not only in I can save money that I spend on tires, but also I know I'm going to have less carbon emissions because I'm consuming less of the tire threads. But I also know that I can retrain some of my drivers that have a more aggressive driving and actually consume more of the tire in every single journey. And that has an impact on the other two. But on top of it, I can actually inform the tire manufacturers which type of tire is best for which type of fleet, right? They might not like that because probably they will sell less tires because they're still incentivized. When you come back
Right.
to the tyranny of metrics, they're still incentivized to actually sell more tires, right? Um, but there's a multi-dimensional analysis of the impact and the value of data. First, for how you run your operations. Secondly, for how your clients run their operations and make deliveries. Thirdly, for the whole ecosystem of companies that sell services that somehow tie to the use of that assets that you have data on, right? With the advent of AI, we have a new dimension to explore, which is the model that I built for that specific tire consumption that can analyze all of these different dimensions and come up with an optimization factor that can probably be applied to door handles. It can be applied to winches. It can be applied to paint jobs. It can be applied to a number of things. And but how do you get access to marketplaces where you can sell those? And you go look at what all of the software platforms and the hyperscalers are doing. They're building model marketplaces. So businesses that think they can leverage the research work you've done on building that model, training that model, they can be commercialized there for other businesses. So this is a whole new dimension. I mean, imagine building a company of people that all they do is build models and publish them on these marketplaces, right? And the entry fee is go to a company, ask for their historic data, get it cleaned and ready, build a model, and then share the profits with them. This could be a viable business. We could have a marketplace of models that then goes sell those models across AWS's marketplace, Microsoft's marketplace. Um,
If you enjoyed that clip, there is much more of that conversation. Make sure to check out the full interview where we get into so much more. And if it was helpful, click the like and subscribe button. If not, no worries. Hopefully, I'll convince you next time. I hope you have a wonderful day and enjoy wherever you are.